blood vessel pass through? And the answer is option D, 5. The blood vessels pass through the vertebratal canal, option D. The next question is also diagrammatic, showing the backbone of an animal, showing it from the back of the neck till the tail. Now, it's now asking, the first question says, the bones labeled to, it just labeled 1 and 2, just 2 labeling on that, labeling 1 and 2. The question says, the bones that is labeled 2 are called what? Mammalian skeleton, the backbone. We have 5 vertebrae. We have the cervical, we have the thoracic, we have the lumbar, we have the sacral and the caudal vertebrae. Cervical vertebrae being the neck bones, then thoracic being the chest bone, the lumbar vertebrae being the bones of the upper abdomen, while sacral vertebrae being the bone of the lower abdomen, while the caudal is the bone of the tail. Now, looking at this diagram, 1 is the cervical vertebrae, that's the bone of the neck. Then there is a portion that was not labeled, that was omitted. That part is the thoracic vertebra, that's the chest bone. Then the next one is the lumbar vertebrae, the upper abdomen bones, then followed by the lower abdomen bone, which is the sacral vertebrae, then the caudal is the tail abdomen. So just 2 parts that are highlighted in the diagram. So 1 is cervical vertebrae, then 2 is lumbar vertebrae. That leads us to option D in that question. Lumbar vertebrae is the part labeled 2. Now the next question says, the type of joints between adjacent bones in the part labeled 2 is what? A. Ball and socket joints, B. Sliding joints, C. Hinge joints, D. Suture joints. Looking at these various types of joints, suture joints is usually found in the brain, in the small bones of the skull. That's where you find suture joints. So that rules out option D. Then C is hinge joints. Hinge joints is a bone that they just go over each other, just like the bones of my hand like this. That's a hinge joint. They go over in just one direction. While ball and socket joints can go in 360 degree, like the bone of the shoulder, the bone of the shoulder joint, of the knee joint, then of the high. That's ball and socket. That also rules that out. So the answer here is sliding joints. Those are the bones, the joints of small bones in the backbone. Sliding joints, option B. The next question says, when bacteria swim from cold to warm regions, this is known as what? That is, what type of movement is that? A. Negative chemotaxis, B. Positive thermotaxis, C. Positive phototaxis, D. Negative phototaxis. This question is very simple to answer if you are very smart, even if you don't know the details, in the sense that looking at swimming, the bacteria swimming from cold to warm region, that is talking about heat, and heat means thermo. So that just settles because it's only one thermo that is in your option here. But then, in case you have other thermo, you have positive thermotaxis alone, in fact, it's not confusing at all. But in case you don't have it that way, in another question, taxis is talking about the movement of a whole organism in response to a particular stimulus. The movement of a whole organism, the whole organism is moving to respond to that stimulus. Then that's what taxis is about. But whether it is positive or negative, positive means the organism is moving towards that stimulus. When the organism is moving towards that stimulus, we say it is a positive taxis, whether chemo, whether thermo, whether photo, or whatever. But when the organism is moving away from that stimulus, we say it is negative. So positive in the sense that the bacteria is moving towards the heat change, is moving to a warm environment, so it is positive. Then it is thermo. Then I've defined what taxis is all about. Chemo is chemical changes. Photo is light changes. So that settles the question with option B being our answer, positive thermotaxis. The next question. Hydrostatic skeleton is the type of supporting system found in A. mammals, B. reptiles, C. oligochaetes, D. arthropods. We have three types of skeleton: endoskeleton, exoskeleton, hydrostatic skeleton. Endoskeleton being internal bones that are inside the organism. E.g., we have it in mammals, we have it in reptiles. Well, in the exoskeleton, that's external bones, we find them in mollusks, and like in snails, we find them also in arthropods. Their own bones are external, no flesh is covering it outside. Like you have the shell of snail, that's exoskeleton. Then hydrostatic skeleton. This is this kind of skeleton that is in form of water, but it is held together by force, by pressure, hydrostatic pressure. So that is why it is called hydroskeleton. It's kind of liquid, but it is the one that is holding the organism together. So mammals and reptiles have endoskeleton, inside skeleton. Then arthropods have exoskeleton, leaving us with only oligochaetes, which is our answer. Is the one that has hydrostatic skeleton. The next question. Which of the following stimuli is likely to elicit a nastic response in an organism? Nastic response is a non-unidirectional movement of a fixed part of an organism. Non-unidirectional movement of a fixed part of an organism. For instance, in plants, when plant is responding to light intensity, the part of the plant is just bending. It's not the whole plant moving now. So that's an example of a nastic response. So we have option A, touch, B, light intensity, C, chemical substance, D, gravity. Like I've explained, is B, light intensity. When the plant is responding, not the whole plant now, but a part of the plant is responding to now light intensity. That's nastic response. Option B. The next question. The movement response of a cockroach away from a light source can be described as, I explained earlier that positive movement is when the organism is moving towards that stimulus, while negative movement is when the organism is moving away. So this tells you that the cockroach moving away from a light source is a negative movement, and light is photo. Photo, when you want to talk about light, you say photo. So that is negative phototaxism. Negative phototaxism is the answer. That's option B. The cockroach is moving away from the light source. Then why is it taxism and not tropism? We have positive phototaxism as option A, negative phototaxism option B, negative phototropism option C, positive phototropism option D. I have separated it for you that since the organism is moving away, it is negative. But now, taxism and tropism, the difference between them is that in taxism, the whole organism is moving, whether towards the stimulus or away from the stimulus. But in tropism, it's just a part of the organism that is moving, as we have in plants. So this is telling you that it is taxism. Since the cockroach is moving, the cockroach is moving away, it's telling it is negative, and since it is light source, you have phototaxism, option B. The movement response of a cockroach away from a light source can be described as negative phototaxism. The next question. The main structure in vertebrates that support and protect the body is the A, muscle, B, joints, C, skeleton, D, ligaments. The main structure in vertebrates that support and protect the body is the skeleton. Part of the skeleton, you now have muscle covering the bones, you have joints where two or more bones meet, then you have ligaments also. So The answer is option C, skeleton. The next question. The chitin in the exoskeleton of many arthropods is strengthened by what? You have seen this question earlier. The chitin in the endoskeleton of many arthropods is strengthened by A. Calcium compounds, B. Organic salts, C. Lipids, D. Protein. The chitin is made up of protein and it is strengthened by calcium compounds. So the answer is option A, calcium compounds. The next question. The response of plants to external stimuli in a non-directional manner is known as A. Nastic movement, B. Phototropism, C. Tactic, D. Geotropism. Nastic movement is the movement of plants to external stimulus in a non-directional manner. Phototropism is the movement of plants to light, or movement of plants to stimulus of light, because you have photo here, stimulus of light. Then tactic is the movement of the whole organism in response to a stimulus. Geotropism is the movement due to gravity of plants. Movement of plant, maybe the plant root is moving away due to gravity. That is geotropism. Now, and the question says the response of plants to external stimuli in a non-directional manner. The answer is nastic movement, option A.